First of all, thank you for being here today. I want to begin by offering thanks to God for giving me strength during these months. My faith has remained unwavering, and I've struggled to deal with these false allegations against me. I've kept my faith with God that He wouldn't abandon me and that the truth would come out. And I'd like to give my heartfelt thanks to the officers and detectives of the Bakersfield Police Department and the Merced Police Department for their hard work, their dedication, and their commitment to justice. They spent many hours conducting a thorough investigation into the allegations against me. They've interviewed numerous witnesses and left no stone unturned, and I am grateful that they were able to conclude that the accusations were unsubstantiated. But I realize too that the battle's not over, but with the support of my friends, my family, my community, and the diligent work of law enforcement, I know that I'll eventually be exonerated of all the allegations. These past months, waiting for the truth to be revealed, the false allegations to be refuted, my good name to be restored, have been some of the most difficult and challenging experiences of my life. Watching my family, my friends, my parish community suffer because of basic attacks on my character has been devastating. Accusations are easy to make, but they're very difficult to defend, and I've been defamed, I've been slandered, libeled, and irreparably harmed by these false accusers and those supporting them. But I want to make it very clear that even by defending myself and my good name, I am not saying that abuse of clergy members does not occur. I've dedicated my life to serving the vulnerable. I've counseled victims of clergy abuse. I've worked to raise awareness and funds to support victims. And my hope is that the false accusations leveled against me will not be used to diminish the credibility of true victims. I'll strongly defend my innocence and my right to due process, but I will not allow these false accusations to lessen my passion for true victims. I will continue to pray for and fight for true victims of abuse, and I will continue to fight against the injustice of those making false accusations. It is my life's purpose to serve others as Christ taught us, and I'll remain steadfast in my faith as I continue to work. I am hopeful that I will soon be restored as pastor of St. Francis Church, where I believe I can best serve the community I love so much. So I thank you again to everyone who has supported me through this time. Your prayers and generosity of spirit have meant more than you will ever know and that I can ever express. And I say it every day, and I say it again today in the words of St. Faustina. Jesus, I trust in you. Thank you.
If you have any questions, I can take those at this time.
Mr. Humphrey, so Msgr said in his statement that he mentioned Bakersfield Police, but also Merced, and there are several other cases also with Fireball. Can you speak to some of those other cases as well?
Well, just very briefly, we have cooperated completely with Bakersfield Police Department. They did an in-depth, very exhaustive investigation. We've cooperated with the Merced law enforcement. The detectives were kind enough down to come here to meet with us. We've reached out to Fireball, and we look forward to cooperating with them. And ultimately, every one of these false accusations will be proven. The falsehood will be proven, and we are confident that these thorough investigations by police are that process, and we're looking forward to finishing it up.
So has Merced Police, have they been in communication with you? Have they completed their investigation as well?
I'm not aware of that, and I don't want to put any pressure on any of the agencies that have been asked to involve in that.
Then the Monsignor did mention Merced in his statement. Why did he mention Merced if they may have not completed their investigation?
We understand that Merced has completed their investigation. Well, we this is the difficult process. Each agency has its own efforts, it has its own manpower, it has its own current needs. So we have to kind of make room for what each agency is doing. And again, we're absolutely confident that Fireball, like the other agencies, will close this case and there'll be no charges.
How recently did you come to learn of BPD's news of completing their investigation?
We learned today through the press release that they issued that they were done. We had absolute confidence from the beginning, based on our investigations and based on our knowledge of Craig and the truth, that they would reach this conclusion. So happily today is a good day, a day to savor, because we got confirmation of his innocence.
For someone like Father Craig who bids to be part of the community, how does he move forward now? Do you know of any plans for him staying here?
We're going to savor this moment. The joy, the happiness to have the rest of the people, the doubters or the people who are misled by false accusations, to have them see this exoneration, that's what we're going to count on today. In the future, we'll be dealing with whatever the next step in the process is with the church, but hopefully we'll see our pastor back at the helm at St. Francis.
Are these accusations that BPD was investigating, are they the same accusations that were reported from the early 90s and a council in Sacramento we're speaking to of someone who came forward with accusations against the Msgr from the late 80s, early 90s? Are they the same? Is this the same case, same investigation?
It is hard for me to say without actually having possession of the police report, but I can tell you that the diocese apparently referred every claim and manufactured statement to a various agency. The ones involving Bakersfield, we've been exonerated of. So we'll just keep following that process through each and every jurisdiction.
You said that the Merced case you understood to be closed. When did that close?
I don't know the actual time.
Our newsroom just confirmed from the Diocese of Fresno that the Merced case is not closed.
Is what?
Is not closed.
Well, again, I don't want to get involved in any type of speculation involving the Diocese of Fresno or anything. Today is just a day to celebrate after a months-long intensive investigation by the Bakersfield Police Department. There's no basis for these charges. So, that's step one. And we're absolutely confident we'll get to the same place with Fireball and Merced. And then we'll move on to the diocese, and hopefully they'll recognize that it's time to put Msgr Craig back in business.
Has there been any communication between your office, the Msgr, and the Diocese of Fresno?
Again, the next steps for us is to step back and enjoy this moment, because it's been 90 days of agony, and we anticipate that the well-oiled machinery of these accusers and the groups that they work with will continue to attack Craig as they do priest up and down the valley and across this country. We're going to just enjoy this moment and not get too far ahead of ourselves.
How has the community responded since Father Craig has come back to Bakersfield? I know that you had said when this happened that he left Kern County, he left the area just to get away for a second. So how has it been since his return?
I think he spoke eloquently of that in a previous interview, but just to rehash it, at my request, I had him leave the community for a time, because if you understand the love of this community for Msgr, the love of his parish, there's no way he would have gotten any rest. People with the best intents would have been there to support him. And to be stripped of what's important to you, to be stripped of your ability to be present in the life of people that have grown up around you, families that you've grieved with, families that you've gone to hospitals with in the middle of the night. When those things are taken from you, it's painful. So being back is still painful because he's not really all the way back. He's not at our parish. And so there's pain in that, but everywhere he's gone, he's seen nothing but outstanding love and support. And I'm grateful to this community that we are people who believe in the truth and know what we know, and we can't be dissuaded by false accusers.
Monsignor said accusations are easy to make and hard to defend. Does he feel like that he's gotten a fair due process?
I don't want to bring any rain into this moment. That's a question for another day. But if you look back at my earlier statements, wherever we're at right now, we insist on due process, and we demand it from everybody. And hopefully they will abide that. Okay, anything else?
Is BPD investigating any other cases that you would know of?
Well, in terms of, in general, I mean, we have 2 murders a week right now.
Specific to Monsignor Craig?
No, absolutely not. When Craig came to me with the initial news, the injuries that had been done to him by these accusers, I told him to be ready, because if you look at this industry that exists to sue the Catholic Church, it always starts with a trickle. There's encouragement to more. You just really have to look at that. But, you know, we've looked at that. We've taken what they've dished so far because we knew it wasn't true, and we will continue to fight to exonerate him completely.
Have you kept a count of how many accusations have come in? It's been a little bit difficult to keep track between all the cities as well.
We have a very good idea of the numbers. They've been manipulated by the industry that sues the priest and the church to make it seem like more, and the way it's been intentionally leaked to the media. You know, that's why we're so proud of this moment. We've had a thorough police investigation. You heard it from them. The accusers have shown up and gone from station to station, one at a time, to keep news cycles going forward. Well, we've countered that with the truth and with the exoneration by the Bakersfield Police Department. So that's where we're at right now.
So what is your count that you've kept?
You know, I don't want to comment on that because they already hate me, and I don't want to give them another reason.
Does the Monsignor believe that there could have been actions in his past that may have been misconstrued by people?
No, we don't. You know, we're not ever going to go there and entertain the possibility, because it didn't happen. And anyone who knows Monsignor Craig knows his church is open. The doors are always open. People come and go. That's his life. I mean, think about it. Simple thing. He adopted 4 children and was allowed to be the guardian of others. Every time he had to be vetted by a government agency that got into his life. So, no, there's no possibility unless a person desired to harm him or do wrong for whatever their reasons were.
Why would people come out to harm the Monsignor? He seems to be, he's a staple in this community, and he's done, reportedly done so much that has been good and has benefited Bakersfield. Why would someone come out to defame him, to harm him?
Well, I can't actually tell you the motives of people, but there's a pattern of monetizing claims against the church. And in my research into attacks happening in Chicago, in Philadelphia, in Boston, in Dallas, there's a pattern where a popular priest within a diocese is attacked first to create a media frenzy. I mean, honestly, if they had come out first attacking a priest in Dinuba who'd been there for a year and had no connection to the community, we would not have had the media attention that Monsignor Craig and his status and contribution to this community created.
So I know you said you're focusing on the moment right now, the celebration right now, but what does the legal and clerical process look like for restoring someone to their position at a church?
What I understand from the process is once the police investigations are done, the diocese will then review and perhaps start their investigation, or perhaps they've already started it. There's a certain lack of clarity there. And at some point, it's a possibility that we'll have the opportunity to present our side. And we look forward to that day.
Is there a sort of timeline for that? Like
Your
how long?
office had communication with the Diocese of Fresno?
You know, again, I don't want to get ahead of myself and talk about the diocese. The timeline is whatever time it takes, we're going to fight and fight and fight to exonerate Craig, Msgr Craig, and to see him restored to his rightful place as the pastor of St. Francis of Assisi Parish. That is where he belongs, and we want him restored. And on a personal level, I'd like to see it be tomorrow. But if that's not possible, we will continue to fight to get there. In terms of communications, I don't want to get into the lawyer aspects of back and forth. I just want to tell you that for right now, this has been a moment that's been a long time coming, and we're ready to celebrate and enjoy this.
Does he have a message for anybody else in the community who's been supportive of
Well,
him?
I think he gave that in his statement. I mean, a man like that who's done nothing but provide service and love for his community. If you know him, every time someone from his parish needs him and he can't respond, his pain is there, and it's real, and it's irreparable, and we just want to enjoy this moment.
Any message to the victims or the accusers?
Well, my message is to the media, quit labeling things and pretending that it's true. You can't be a victim just because you say you are. It really requires an investigation. And if there is a finding by a court, then that's when you get to be that.
I think we call them accusers right now.
Right, and I would agree. And my message to the accusers is that we will continue to fight to exonerate Craig against any defamation or libel or slander or these irreparable injuries that cause great damage to him. We will fight for justice. But today we're going to celebrate with a nice dinner and just friendship and community, and with the knowledge that those who are wavering can rest assured that our claims of innocence have been supported.
What is the Monsignor's message to the diocese?
We're not going to go into anything like that right now. His message today is gratefulness to his community, to the officers and detectives who did a thorough, no stone unturned investigation, spent a tremendous amount of time and effort into making sure that they did a really good job in this case, and one that we can all rely on and know when they exonerated Craig and said there is no basis for these charges, that they had left no stone unturned. Are we good?
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you all so much for coming on short notice. We wished it had been longer. I might have combed my hair, but thank you very much.